Hello everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another layout for Colorcast Designs. Today I'm using this month's subscription. This is the acrylic subscription along with this photo of my baby girl. I'm going to be using the XOXO in that acrylic subscription along with some snowflakes from the shop. I'm also using a heart cut file by Pear Tree Cut Files for this one. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down to my pattern paper here. This is just a random pattern paper from my stash that I have been hoarding. I have a paper bin here beside me, and from time to time I go stash diving and just pull out a background paper that I would like to use and then make a layout with it. So that's what I did today. So I have pulled this out. I actually was also inspired by a Paper Issues sketch. You can find that one over on Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook group, and I'm using one of their sketches today. So what I've done here is I cut that cut file using some textured white cardstock, and then I cut it again a few more times using some pattern papers from the photo play collection called Love Notes. I just recently got this collection and I really love it. It's so cute and perfect for all of these Valentine's Day type photos coming up, or anything that has red in it, which is something that I kind of struggle with sometimes, is finding collections that have red, because sometimes my photos have red in them, like this one with the sled that she's riding on and her little pink coat, and it's kind of hard to find collections that go with this. So I am actually making a wintry layout today, but I am using shades of red and this little Valentine's collection today and just mixing in some snowflakes. So it's going to work out. I'm going to kind of layer up these hearts, and I want them to pop up off the page for dimension, of course. So I am going to sew a line down the middles of all of these hearts using my Brother sewing machine. So I actually cut this again here. As you can see, I've cut it 3 times now in the pattern papers because I needed another color to fill in. So I just cut it with the heart, the little heart paper design there with the white background and the red hearts. So I'm just filling in all of these hearts and then just tacking them down very, very lightly in the centers, because I'm going to sew down the middle with my sewing machine and pull them back up off the page, if that makes sense. So my tape runner actually ran out in mid-video here, so I just popped a new one in quickly. That's something that I love about that tape runner. It's from Thermoweb, and they're just super easy to replace the refills in them. So I've got my acrylic pieces here laying on my desk. You can see those beautiful snowflakes. I'm going to pull in some of those. My machine stitching is done at this point, so I'm just cutting off the tails. I don't want any of those strands hanging on this particular layout. Sometimes I do leave them, but for this one I just wanted a clean layout, so I'm just going to leave cut them all off. And then here you can see me fluffing up all of these heart sides and pulling them up off the page for dimension. Now they'll probably flatten out in my book some, but for now they're nicely popped up and they have some good dimension. So if I want to hang this on my wall display for a little while, I can do that and they will still be popped up. I've got my little XOXO here. This is from, again, the monthly acrylic subscription. So if you get that subscription, you get all these beautiful acrylics. The snowflakes are extra. They do not come with the subscription, so I purchased those separately from the shop. I'm just going to run some of these dies from my stash here through my Big Shot machine. You can see my machine is well loved. I do use a paper shim with a few sheets of cardstock in mine because I use my magnetic platform along with a magic mat, and that does tend to need a little bit of a shim in there. So I just use a couple pieces of cardstock, which I need to redo because they are very, very well used at this point. So I just ran a Spellbinders border die through there to get a little border on the right side of my photo. I'm going to trim that little tail off here in a moment, and I'm pulling out the red and white snowflakes from the shop here, along with some of the stickers and ephemera from this photo play collection. So my title is going to be that XOXO at the very bottom of my photo, which I will glue down using some Nuvo glue here in a minute. And I have this little border strip that I just wanted to tack down to my photo before using some of this easy tear tape to adhere my photo to my layout itself. I also used my Big Shot to cut out that little chipboard, or not chipboard, clipboard die at the top there. It's kind of laying on my background. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to to place that on the top of my photo. So usually I like to add a lot of layers behind my photos, but I just wanted this to be a very simple, easy, and most importantly, quick layout tonight. I wanted to get this one done and finished up fairly quick. I didn't have a lot of time to scrap tonight, so I just wanted to get this one done and in my pile of finished albums. But I just wanted to add some really cute hearts to this, add some snowflakes, not layer up my photo a lot, but add some interest around it. So that's why I'm adding the border strip, and I'll add the clipboard piece to the top. And then I also wanted to do some stamping on this layout too. I feel like it's been way too long since I have done a bunch of stamping on a layout, and that's kind of one of my signature things. So I really wanted to get back to stamping on layouts, and I'm going to do that today or tonight. So I'm just going to glue down my title here using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. It's one of my favorite adhesives for gluing down acrylic pieces or any small bits to layouts or your projects. It does dry clear, so I don't have to worry about making a mess, which I usually do. So that's all good. I can go ahead and stick that down, and that's good to go there. And then I'm just going to look at the sticker sheet, see if I want to add anything now. I'm going to add a couple of these little labels or these phrase stickers here to the side of my photo, and then this little heart is going to go right there. I'm going to actually end up adding the snowflake there as well. And then I am going to grab some little round adhesive brads to add to this as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and start my stamping. So I've grabbed a stamp set by Elle Studio. I think it's called True Love Tabs, if I remember right. And I am just pulling out a bunch of these little phrases with some intense black ink by Honeybee Stamps. And I'm just going to stamp all of these phrases a couple times. Notice that I am stamping once and then not re-inking. I am stamping again once or twice, just to get that kind of faded effect or kind of like an ombre effect. So I'm just going to continue pulling off a bunch of these phrases and stamping all around this cut file in my design, sticking to that kind of vertical design today. And then I'm going to also grab some sequins. I know, shocker. It's kind of my things: stamping, mixed media, sequins, torn paper, or distressed edges. I could make like a recipe card and it would sum me up to a T. So I am just stamping all these cute little phrases. I love the little XOXO to go with the title on this one. It's just super cute. And I love that acrylic piece because it has those hearts kind of cut out of the letters themselves. And I just think it's so super sweet. And I love it. And the snowflakes just pull in the winter theme of my layout. We were sled riding outside, and I was just kind of tugging my baby girl here around in her little sled, all bundled up. She did try to get out, but at this point, I think she was still pretty small, if I remember, and I don't remember if she could walk at this point, but I don't think she was walking then, or maybe she was, but she wasn't too into it yet. But this is the point where I could just kind of bundle her up and tug her around in the sled, and she had no interest of being out in it herself. So she stayed put wherever I placed her, and then I could help my boys with their sled riding down the hill. So I've just grabbed some little decorative brads. These are adhesive on the back, but I like to still add some glue dots because I am sandwiching some thread in between there. So I just basically cut a long string of black thread here and then kind of drop it into my hand, twirling it around as I go, and then just kind of bunch it up and secure it to the brad with a glue dot, and then add another glue dot to secure it to the actual page. So I'm adding a few of those. These are from the Simple Stories Heartstrings collection, and I just love them. I think they're so sweet. I do like that collection, but I didn't buy the whole collection. I just bought little bits and pieces of it. I think I only bought like one paper and then these decorative brads. I can't remember what else I bought, but so I found that this collection kind of coincides with this Love Notes collection as well, and they really look nicely together. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, is I'm just pulling those in. And then, of course, I'm going to add some sequins. These sequins are by Rachel Tallman. So I am a subscriber to her sequins, and I really like her her ideas, and her mixes are so pretty. And I am using some of them today. This one's called Mushroom something or other, but I actually took the mushrooms out, and I'm not using those. I'm just using the red and black bits. So there's the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process today, and I hope I've inspired you to create. And I will link down below the acrylics and anything that I've used today, so you can grab those from the shop. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.